right, we are in Stormwatch.
We are. Yoo-hoo.
And
You're just jogging down the hall.
I was running, and look, I put on my running shoes.
Doing your morning exercise, yeah.
My running
just jogging down the hall.
Because I knew we'd be in Stormwatch today, so I'm smart.
Right,
okay.
Right.
We are in Stormwatch. It's Tuesday. It's the 23rd of December. I was just talking to meteorologist Dr. Doug Gillen. He was breaking it all down for me.
Yes.
The winds are going to be our issue.
Okay. So we're going to have some winds.
We're going to have some very strong winds,
right.
80 to 90 plus potentially.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, the good news about this is that we don't have snow attached to that wind. Had we had snow attached to that wind, it could have been a really major problem from the standpoint of load on trees and wires and things like that.
Think back to November the 24th. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Vicious windstorm.
Yep.
We were in Stormwatch for this. There were localized power outages. People were waking up. I mean, there were thousands of people within the GTA with absolutely no power. And the scenario that could play out very similarly to that for Christmas is that people are going to be waking up potentially with no power on Christmas morning.
Well, that's the possibility. But the temperatures are going to be milder, which is good news.
Absolutely.
Both from the trees standpoint, because if it was bitter temperatures and wind, then you have all the trees breaking.
Yes.
So all of these things are fairly positive. The wind's going to be an issue for sure, though.
All right, taking a look at our current temperatures. What happens after that? Well, we've got a pattern change, and I'll break that down for you in just a few moments. But first, here's Tom with traffic. Yeah, wind is certainly our main issue. Today, we've got rain. We've got fairly mild conditions. It's not going to be an all-day rain. We're going to see some breaks. Tomorrow morning is possibly going to be our heaviest shot of precipitation, and then the warm front's going to go through. We'll sit nicely in that warm sector. Temperatures will be above seasonal yet again, and then we're actually going to start to see a bit of a clearing trend for Christmas Eve. So that's okay for the weather, for the rain, aspect. We start to dry out, but this is when the winds are really going to start to pick up. We're going to see sustained winds, 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, gusting 80 to 90 plus. So this is where we could see some localized power outages. This is where we could see some major issues when it comes to cooking that turkey on Christmas morning. Now, as the system really starts to push out, our winds will ease by Friday. We'll get a bit of a break. And on Saturday is going to be a nice day, but we are going to be seeing some rain late day, and then the potential is there for a shot of snow for Sunday. Hi there, good morning. It is Tuesday. It is the 23rd of December. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds, and hopefully you're ready for the holidays and Christmas and Hanukkah, and it's just a festive time of the year. We've been eating all kinds of bad stuff already this year. It's been good.
Honestly, I sit down at the briefing desk every single morning, and there's junk food, and I'm just
cookies
like, I'm inhaling
and chocolates. Yeah, I know. I think that's pretty well everywhere. You know, little ice cream here and there. You might as well just enjoy the season. Don't overdo it. Just enjoy it.
Oh, I've already overdone it.
All right.
And I'm not even there yet.
Well, that's okay.
Let's take a look at our current temperatures. We are really mild to start the day because everything's going to melt. It's not great for snowplow operators because they haven't been working.
You know, they've had a chance to make a fair bit of snow. I would say Collingwood's probably got some. We're going to have some runs open.
Yes, agreed.
In spite of it.
Agreed. I would say some areas, but I'm talking more locally.
Well, yeah, locally.
You know, we're not going to be seeing that snow and snowplow operators.
No, they'll be having to stay home with their families for the holidays.
But this is how some of them make their living.
I know.
This is the problem.
I will start. Maybe they could go back out. They do gardening during the summer, so maybe they could start gardening or
start
something.
Landscaping?
Yeah, doing a little landscaping. Sure.
Well, the rain is certainly going to be a bit of a story, and the wind, that is why we are in Stormwatch. This is a very similar scenario to how it played out on November the 24th. If you see that transition to a rain-snow mix, and if you really, really wanted a white Christmas, you just have to keep your fingers crossed because we just might get one in the city of Toronto. We'll talk more about the long range. We'll talk more about the winds, but first, here's Tom with traffic. Thanks, Tom. We are going to be seeing a very damp and drizzly and kind of gloomy day today. Not a ton of rain. I think our biggest shot of precipitation is going to be coming in first thing tomorrow morning, so not great for your morning commute. We are going to see a clearing trend come in Wednesday evening, so that's good for your evening commute, especially if you want to get home for Christmas Eve and, you know, you've got places to go, you've got dinners to get to. This is a good spot for there to be a dry spell. Now, the winds are going to start to pick up late Wednesday evening and in through Christmas morning, and we're talking sustained winds anywhere between 40 and 50 kilometers an hour. But the gusts are potentially going to be 80 to 90, and even locally, we could see more. So this is where we're talking about trees coming down on power lines. It's not going to be a good scenario. A lot of people could be waking up without power Christmas morning. How are you going to cook the turkey? Well, this is why we're here. We're here to tell you about these things before they happen. We are going to be seeing our winds start to ease over the weekend, but we do have a potential system on the way for the weekend travelers. Thursday, This is clearing out for Christmas Day. Rain snow mix possible throughout the day. And then Friday is actually not a bad day. This is probably our better day of the week. Saturday, we do have overnight rain coming in with a cold front. And then Sunday, we do have a system to the south. This model wants to keep it there, but if it moves north, we could see some snow. All right, now before we get to Tom, let's talk a little bit more before we go to you.
Yes.
We'll talk a little bit more about this storm. I mean, there's good news and there's bad news, and it all depends on what kind of weather you want to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a wind event primarily with rain attached to it.
Yeah.
The good news is it's not going to be a snow event.
No.
It's not going to be a deep freeze either, which is all positive from the standpoint of tree branches falling, wires falling, things like that.
Now, it's not to say that we're not going to see any snow, because we do have very strong winds that are shifting to more of a northwesterly direction. So on Christmas Day, we may see some mixing and a good shot of snow, which will make the roads very greasy if you're traveling on Christmas morning. Temperatures are going to be dropping significantly.
Yeah, I was hoping to go do a little sleigh riding with my granddaughters on Christmas Day. So I think I'll just take them out to the mud hill. And
just push them down the mud.
just go down in the mud. Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the radar. Oh, those poor grandkids.
I know.
The radar is showing the rain coming in and possibly some straight snow to areas a little bit further north and west. More on the wind story in just a moment, but first here's Tom with traffic. So today we've got showers and just kind of a gray, gloomy, but mild kind of day. Our heaviest precipitation is going to be coming in early tomorrow morning. Not great for the morning commute. Continuing on and off throughout the day, easing by tomorrow night. We're going to start to see a dry spell, but then we've got our winds really starting to pick up. So we're looking at sustained winds 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, gusts 80 plus. So do you remember the storm of November 24th? We were in Stormwatch for winds. Very similar scenario. A lot of people were waking up without power, and hopefully, fingers crossed, not a lot of people are going to be waking up Christmas morning without power, but the potential is there. We are going to see these winds start to ease as we get closer to the weekend, and conditions will improve throughout the day on Friday. We may even see some sunshine. Hi there, thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. We're having some technical difficulties with Kevin. We'll get back to him in just a few moments. It's the 23rd of December, and we're in Stormwatch for wind and rain. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds. Yeah, it's going to be one of those lowy events over the weekend with some showers around as well. So it could be, it could be better than snow, actually, in many cases. Because a lot of people are traveling. So, with the snow and ice, in fact, I just heard OPP asking for salters and sanders on the ramps on the 404.
Yeah.
Because we are seeing a tiny bit of freezing right now.
Well, take a look at the radar, and you can actually see those little areas of pink. That's 27 degrees.
I'm just kidding.
No, we were talking about the high of 10 degrees, however.
How about
Christmas.
that? That's not too bad.
But that's going to be an early day high. Hopefully, this is when Santa's going to be making his rounds. So that's good for Santa with no snow. But this is where most of us are going to be sleeping.
Right.
Because it's going to happen around midnight and then drop throughout the morning.
I just realized I was talking about Florida, 27 degrees on Christmas Day. That's what it was. Sorry.
Tom.
I know.
See what I have to work with every day?
Trouble.
Okay, rain for Christmas Eve. Strongest winds picking up through the evening, dropping by the time kids are waking up. You just might see a few snowflakes. A Christmas miracle, maybe. We'll talk more about the wind in a moment, but first, here's some.
After that comment, after today, I'm not going to work with you till next year, just for that. Right now, as you head out onto the highways, we're good. Emily's got more information on the Christmas forecast.
Today, gloomy, gray, damp, mild. 6 degrees through the city of Toronto. Tonight and into tomorrow morning, that is where we're going to be seeing a more pronounced period of rain. This is going to be kind of our heaviest precipitation. Not great for the morning commute. By the evening, we actually start to dry out for a few hours, but this is when the wind is really going to start to pick up. So this is good for people that are going to be going out for dinner. You're going to your parents' place. You're going to relatives. You're doing all that kind of stuff. Decent conditions until the winds really start to pick up. But that's going to be Wednesday overnight and into Thursday morning. We've got sustained winds. About 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, but the potential is there for gusts 80 plus. So do you remember the system that came in with really, really strong winds on November the 24th? We were in Stormwatch for that. A lot of people were waking up with no power. Thousands of people, in fact. So the scenario is very similar to this. Hopefully, a lot of people will not be waking up without power because everybody wants to cook their turkey on Christmas Day. The winds are going to start to ease throughout the day on Friday, and for the weekend, well, I'll break it down for you. So here's the system through Wednesday, Thursday. Once this moves out, winds will start to ease. Friday, a good day, a mix of sun and cloud. Saturday through the overnight, we've got some rain coming in, but Saturday is going to be a nice day. And then on Sunday, we'll see some sunshine, but colder temperatures. Hi there. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Weather Network. It is Tuesday. It is the 23rd of December, and we're in Stormwatch for winds and for rain.
That's right.
Not for snow.
No.
Which is good.
So, and it's not freezing temperatures either, for the most part.
No.
So that's all good from the standpoint of having some rain and winds blowing around, but the winds could be fairly intense at times, and of course that's why we're in Stormwatch.
Absolutely. Now, think of it this way. Daytime highs Christmas Day can actually be 10 degrees.
Yeah.
But that's going to be early daytime high. That's going to be kind of around midnight, 12:30, and then temperatures will be dropping throughout the day. So, fingers crossed, we just might get a little bit of a white Christmas.
We just might see a tiny bit, and that'll help Santa because he's going to have to navigate the winds. And crosswind landings when you've got 8 reindeer is not that easy.
Have you tried it?
I've done it in a plane though, and crosswind landings at the best of times when the wind's coming from the side, it makes it difficult.
It really will, and I mean driving is not going to be the best. I mean, if you're thinking, well, why are you guys in Stormwatch? It's just rain, but it's the winds. I mean, remember November 24th? Thousands of people through the GTA were waking up with no power. Could you imagine waking up Christmas Day to try and cook your turkey and no power?
Well, yeah, I just turned the barbecue on and away I'd go.
There's
start the generator, plug the lights in.
To get around it. Everybody's going to Tom's house. All right, well, let's take a look at the radar, and we'll show you the rain as it's to be developing to our south. So, a really good wind map that'll really kind of explain it all for you in just a moment. But first, Tom, what's going on the roads? All right, so today it's going to be damp, it's going to be gray, it's going to be drizzly, it's going to be kind of wet, but it's going to be mild. 6 degrees is our daytime high today. The bulk of the moisture for us is coming in tomorrow morning, and it's just going to be kind of on again, off again, on again, off again throughout the day. And then we start to clear just in time for that evening commute. So when everybody's going to the relatives for Christmas Eve and everybody's going out for dinner, this is good news. But then the winds are really going to start to intensify. Check out this map. Here's the legend. So when we're seeing colors of orange over southern Ontario, this is sustained winds. We're talking 20 to 40 kilometers an hour. But when we start to get into the reds, the dark reds, this is our gusts 80 plus kilometers an hour. Winds are going to start to ease on Friday, and we may actually see a little bit of sunshine. Thanks so much, Kevin. Yeah, it's 2 days away from Christmas.
And we just got a Christmas present.
We did.
From Mike Gentili.
Yes, we did.
Our producer, content producer here at the Weather Network, it brought breakfast in for everybody.
Yeah, like pancakes, eggs, hash browns, English muffins, syrup.
How great
coffee.
is he?
He's my favorite person ever.
He's like Santa.
He is.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Way to go, Mike.
Thanks,
you.
Mike.
Yeah, it's lovely.
You're the best.
Yeah.
You've totally got our love.
Yeah, totally. We love you forever.
100%.
Feed us and we're good.
All right, let's take a look at the radar. We're easy to please. That's not good, Tom. We need to be harder to please.
No.
We work on television.
No, we're easy to please.
We need to be more demanding. All right, we've got rain coming in, Windsor, and some snow. So if you've been dreaming of a white Christmas, fingers crossed, we just might get not enough to actually classify it to be a white Christmas. We need 2 centimeters on the ground. But a light dusting with some nice light snow falling would be quite pretty and romantic for Christmas Day. All right, we'll talk about the winds. I'll show you a great product to actually break it down. But first, Tom, what's going on the road? Now, Tom, let's not forget about our friends right here at TWN that are going to be working over Christmas. We are going to be in Stormwatch, not only for Ontario, but in through Atlantic Canada. It's going to be a very busy next couple of days, so keep it locked to here. We've got all the details for you. There's going to be people here 24/7. We've got reporters. We've got live coverage. It's going to be great. Okay, so this afternoon, it's going to be kind of damp. It's going to be kind of drizzly. It's going to be kind of wet. But then we're starting to see the bulk of the moisture really move in through tomorrow morning and continue to be kind of on and off again throughout the day. By Wednesday evening, we'll actually see a bit of a dry spell, and this is perfect for people that are going out for dinner, going to relatives' houses, traveling home for Christmas. The winds will start to pick up late in the evening through the overnight and then continue throughout the day on Christmas Day. Now, the most worrisome thing about these winds, and the reason why we're in Stormwatch, is because even though they're only going to be sustained 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, they've got the potential to gust 80 plus. So we are going to be seeing the potential for some power lines to come down. People may be waking up Christmas morning without any power. The good news is that these winds are going to start to ease just in time for the weekend for people traveling. Thanks so much, Kevin. Yeah, sunrise isn't something that we're really going to be watching for in the next couple of days, that's for sure. We've got gloomy skies, we've got wind, we've got rain, and the wind is our big story. I mean, think back to November 24th.
Yeah.
A lot of people were waking up without power, like thousands of people through the GTA. This is a very similar scenario.
Go back a year.
Ice storm.
Ice storm.
Way worse.
Thousands and thousands of people without power. Trees down.
For Christmas.
My Honda was crushed by a tree in my back porch. And today, I'm getting my door replaced finally after a year.
After a year.
After a year.
That's incredible.
I know.
Okay, well, this is the reason why we're in Stormwatch. It's the colder Arctic air coming our way, which means we could see a white Christmas. Fingers crossed. All right, let's turn things over to Tom. He's got an update on your roads. Walmart may be open. I think Walmart does that crazy kind of like 24-hour thing before Christmas. Okay, we do have rain and kind of gloomy gray conditions on the way for today. The biggest precipitation that we're going to have to worry about is more so tomorrow morning. That's when we're going to see the heaviest rain. This is not good for the morning commute. By the evening commute, things are going to change. We're actually going to see a bit of a dry spell. This is great for people going out for dinner, going to relatives' places, getting home for Christmas. The winds, however, are going to start to pick up through the evening. Notice the legend. The darker colors is not necessarily what we want to see because that means our winds are going to getting stronger. So we've got sustained winds at about 20 to 40, up to 50 kilometers an hour, and then we've got wind gusts 80 plus. That is why some people could be waking up Christmas morning without power. Now, once the system moves out, we're going to start to see a bit of a clearing trend behind it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, decent weather. Saturday overnight and into Sunday, we could see some rain. Thanks so much, Kevin. Yeah, there's good news and there's bad news with this storm. The good news, I guess, if you don't love the snow and you prefer mild temperatures and rain because you can't shovel it, then this is what you're getting. You're getting a lot of rain, a lot of wind, and mild temperatures. The daytime high for Christmas Day has the potential to be about 10 degrees. That's going to be an early day high, though.
Back on the barbecue,
you're gonna
doing
be
the turkey.
You're going to be sleeping.
Well, no, I won't.
You're not going to be sleeping at 1 a.m. on Christmas Day?
I get up and start the turkey early.
At 1 a.m.
Well, then it's done early.
Anyways, it's going to be warm. And then it'll gradually drop throughout the morning. So when kids are waking up, we just might get a little bit of snow.
So when Santa's landing, it's going to be about 10 degrees. He's going to have to take his big fluffy coat off.
Well, and he's going to be dealing with winds 80 plus.
Well, yes, he's experienced. Rudolph's very good at navigation in crosswind landings.
I hope so. So that's the bad news, is that the winds are going to be incredibly strong. And the bad news is, of course, if you want snow, we're not getting a lot. Moving through the GTA. Now, what we're going to see in terms of these winds, I've got a great map that's going to show you exactly what we're talking about. And then I'm going to get you right into the weekend. If you've got travel plans, if you're staying home for Christmas and then you're traveling over the weekend, I've got your story. But first, here's Tom with traffic. Good cover, Tom. Nobody heard that. Okay, we've got rain on the way throughout the day today. We are going to be seeing showers on and off. Once this cold front moves through, it's not doing anything to our temperatures. Tomorrow's going to actually be warmer. Bulk of the moisture coming in tomorrow morning. We start to clear throughout the afternoon, and then by the evening, we'll actually be in a little bit of a dry spell, which is great news for people that are running around, going to people's houses for dinner, visiting with relatives, getting home for the holidays. This is really going to be helpful. But late Christmas Eve and into Christmas morning, this is when the winds are really going to start to pick up. Sustained winds anywhere between 40 and 50 kilometers an hour, gusting 80 plus. Remember that storm that we had on November the 24th? We were in Stormwatch. We had incredible winds. Thousands of people were without power. This is a very similar scenario when we're talking about the wind. So hopefully, fingers crossed, people still will be able to cook their turkey on Christmas Day. But the good news is that things are going to be fairly mild. It's not going to be like last year with the ice storm. Temperatures are going to be up at about 10 degrees to start off on Christmas morning. Then temperatures are going to drop, and we may see a shot of snow for Christmas morning. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Yeah, 2 days away from Christmas. Have you finished your Christmas shopping?
Yeah, officially, yes. I have just a couple of itty-bitty things to pick up, but no, nothing major.
Tom gave me chocolate in a wine bag.
Well, I was trying to throw her off. But, of course, you can't have wine because, you're you're pregnant.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say in the family way.
Nobody says that anymore.
No, I know that's true. That's why I didn't say it. But you forced me.
I did, because I wanted to.
So you're in the family way.
I'm in the family way.
Which means you're having children.
If I was the family way, I would be sitting at home. I wouldn't be at work.
You'll be sitting at home. You'll be sitting at home for a year once you're finished the family way.
Are you going to tell me it's going to be a long vacation too?
It's probably the best thing going.
The best vacation of my life.
Really, you're off for a year with your little babies. Lucky you.
All right, let's take a look at the radar before Tom digs himself even further.
Yeah. I am always in trouble.
You better get out of here.
Always in trouble.
The family way, vacation for a year. Okay, we've got rain. We'll break down the wind story for you in just a moment. But first, Tom, what's going on the roads?
At least I didn't say preggers. I didn't say that, did I? No.
Just did.
Anyway, let's go. Now I'm in trouble with everybody. Okay. First, everybody will be out there clawing and hacking away, trying to get that last minute gift. Emily's got details in the forecast.
I don't know who shops with you, Tom. I've never clawed my way in. Okay, we are going to see a mostly cloudy day today, as Kevin was mentioning, in showers, kind of on again, off again, on again, off again. The next push of moisture, where we're going to be seeing our heaviest precipitation, is tomorrow morning, and then on again, off again throughout the day. And then we're actually going to see a bit of a break, which is perfect, because this is coming in through the evening. Good for your commute home, good to get home for the holidays, good to go out for dinner, good to visit with relatives. And then the winds are really going to start to pick up. So we are going to see sustained winds, 40 to 50 kilometers an hour. The gusts potentially could be up to 80 plus. So some people could be waking up without power on Christmas Day. We'll have more on this coming up. Well, if you're just heading out, going to grab some breakfast on your way to work, make sure you grab your umbrella, and you possibly may want to wear your rain jacket today instead of your winter parka. 4 degrees this morning, and that's only going to go up through the afternoon for Toronto. 1 through Hamilton, we're looking at -1 in Barrie, 0 in Newmarket. Some of these areas that are hovering around the freezing mark could potentially see a little bit of mixing because temperatures will be so cold. If you're traveling south down to Windsor, we're looking at 3 degrees and showers. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Yeah, winds are certainly a guarantee. Rain, yeah, I kind of agree. I do, because I would prefer snow over rain, only because for my dog, she's white.
You lose her in the snow. She just disappears.
Yeah, but she loves the snow, and the snow is much easier to clean off.
Most dogs like snow.
Yeah, but the mud, that's just ugh.
The mud is probably not good from the standpoint of dog's life, but it's the nice thing is right now the ground's frozen.
That is true.
So it's not quite as muddy.
But it's not
after
going
the
to
rain.
Yeah. I mean, we've got daytime highs today getting up to 6 degrees. Tomorrow we're getting up to 8, and our daytime high on Christmas is going to be about 10 degrees, but that's going to be just after midnight. Then it will drop throughout the morning.
Yeah, maybe a dog washing business would be a good thing over the next few days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I might turn on the tap in the back.
Start charging people. Okay, well, here's a look at the radar. To a potential rain-snow mix and to snow with those colder temperatures coming in with those northwesterly winds. More on the winds coming up, but first, Tom, what's going on the roads? Anything? Today we've got kind of a mix of rain and cloud, literally, throughout the day today. Not a ton of rain. The bulk of our moisture is going to be coming in tonight and early tomorrow morning, just in time for the morning commute, unfortunately. Once this starts to push out, though, once we get into that warm sector, we're actually going to see a bit of a break, so the evening commute should be much better. People getting home for Christmas, if you're heading out for dinner, if you're visiting relatives, this is going to be a really good time to travel. The winds won't start to pick up until the late evening, overnight, and in through Christmas morning. And when they do, remember November 24th? Crazy windstorms throughout the city of Toronto. Thousands of people were without power. This is a very similar scenario. So unfortunately, some people could be waking up without power Christmas morning. Winds are going to be sustained 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, gusting 80 plus. So tree limbs could be coming down on power lines. It could be a bit of a mess. But make sure you stay with us for the next couple of days, because we're going to continue to track this system. And we all know that things could certainly change slightly. Now, for the weekend, the winds will start to ease, and we're actually going to see a fairly decent couple of days. Thanks so much, Kevin. Yeah, the only similarity that we have this year to last year is that we do have some stormy weather, but it's not going to be cold. It's not going to be freezing rain. It's not going to be snow. It's not going to be an ice storm. It is a storm. We've got rain and we've got wind, but it's not going to compare.
Rain goes down the drain, dissipates, goes into the lake. It's all good.
Freezing rain.
Well, I don't like the freezing rain aspect of it, but I don't think the big accretion. I mean, it's not looking like it's going to be huge accretion, but the winds are going to be certainly the issue.
No, we've got no freezing rain.
Oh, good.
We've got no freezing
rain.
Well,
that's what.
If you're traveling east, I am.
You're going east
to Ottawa.
Yeah.
They've got freezing rain warnings.
There's enough hot air in Ottawa that there's probably not going to be any freezing rain there.
Now, Tom. Let's take a look at the radar. We do have showers moving in, so we just might get our wish of a white Christmas. Your long range breaks down the wind, but first, here's Tom. Absolutely. Today's not going to be too much of an issue. We've got quite a bit of cloud cover and showers on and off throughout the day. It's going to be tonight and tomorrow morning. That's when we're going to start to see the bulk of the moisture come in. So for the morning commute, not great. For the evening commute, however, things get a lot better. We start to get into a dry spot. So if you've got travel plans, you're going to visit family, you're going out for dinner, you're coming home from work, you're making it home for the holidays. Things look pretty good around this time frame, but the winds will start to intensify shortly after that. Sustained 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, gusting 80 plus. Some people may be waking up Christmas morning without any power. Not a great scenario. Now, once this system moves out, we're going to start to see a bit of a clearing trend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday looks as though we'll see some nice weather, but Saturday overnight and into Sunday we could see a few isolated showers. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. 2 days before the big man arrives. And here at the Weather Network, we are actually going to be tracking Santa with NORAD.
Yes.
Chris Dawson is going to be
up at North Bay.
Yeah, he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy that's watching the man in red. He's going to let us know where he is at what time when he's going to be entering into Canadian airspace.
Yeah.
Chris
St. Clair's been talking about time travel and Santa and all that type of thing as well.
That's how he makes it around the world in one night.
It's unbelievable, really.
One night he has.
He's fast.
You know, I don't know. I'm a little jealous of Santa. He got a lot of stuff done in a short period of time.
I when the kids were small, we used to have carrots, and we'd throw them up on the roof on strings for the reindeer, right?
Right.
And then you pull them down in the morning, they were all just eaten up, right?
Right.
So you're gonna have to tie them down pretty well this Christmas because of the winds, and blow the carrots right off the roof.
Or you can just leave them at the bottom of the chimney, and he can bring them to his reindeer.
I guess so. Yeah, a bunch of carrots.
Easier than throwing them on your roof with a string.
Well, the reindeer are up there waiting for Santa. What do they want to do? Want to eat carrots?
I guess.
Apples, whatever.
You're awesome.
Apples are hard though because they roll off the roof.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at the radar. Oh, that's so great. Enhancement. I will break down the wind for you in just a moment, but first, Tom, anything going on the roads? I wish I had better news for the forecast. It doesn't look great. We've got showers on and off throughout the day today. By tomorrow, we are going to be seeing the bulk of our moisture coming in tomorrow morning through the morning commute. Not great news. By tomorrow afternoon, we'll start to see a few breaks. And then by the evening, we're actually going to start to see a little bit of a dry slot coming through, which is great news for people that are going from point A to point B, going to visit relatives, going out for dinner. Those last minute Christmas shoppers, you're out there. The wind's certainly going to be a huge story. We have got winds that are going to be sustained 40 to 50 kilometers an hour. And as you can see, these very dark reds, that's going to be the most intense situation. This is going to be happening late Wednesday, early Thursday morning. So right into Christmas morning, winds have the potential to be gusting 80 plus. So do you remember November 24th? Lots of people were without power throughout the GTA. This storm is very similar. So there could be a few people waking up Christmas morning with no power. Once we get through this system, the weekend looks much better. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll see some sunshine. Saturday's actually going to be really mild, a daytime high of 7 degrees.
Thank you very much.
Wow, Kevin. He's got some celebrities down there.
Celebrity sports. I mean, those are runners. Those are serious runners.
Yeah.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And they're out there giving it their all today.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, Pan Am Games coming up. Training never stops.
I suppose. I would never make it as a runner.
Well, you've got to actually run in order to be a runner.
I suppose.
Yeah, it's important. Very much of the concept is running. Yeah.
Oh, Tom, you're so mean to me.
Well, no, but you're a professional in other ways.
Running in the newsroom doesn't count, right?
No.
More about the winds in just a moment, but first, here's Tom with traffic. Today we've got showers on and off. Not a lot of wind in the forecast today. The bulk of the moisture coming in from this next system is going to be hitting us overnight, early tomorrow morning. Not great for your morning commute. But by tomorrow evening, we're going to see a bit of a break. We've got showers tapering off. We may even see clear skies for a few hours before the winds really start to kick it up. That's great for Christmas Eve travel if you're getting home for Christmas, if you're going to visit relatives, going out for dinner. The winds, they start to pick up late evening, early morning. Sustained 40 to 50 kilometers an hour. Gusts 80 plus. This is very similar to the same system that we had on November the 24th, and that caused a lot of people to be without power. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully everybody will have power on Christmas Day to cook their Christmas turkey. Once this system moves out, we've got a beautiful weekend ahead of us. Thanks so much, Kevin. Yeah, did you watch him race her? It wasn't even a race.
It was not exactly a race, no.
I mean, she got a bronze medal in the 1500 in the Commonwealth.
Well, yeah, sort of left him in her dust.
Kevin's like, ready, one, and
Gone.
takes off. Yeah. And she
just got back.
She caught up to him in about a second. All right, let's take a look at the radar. The wind and the rain that Kevin was just mentioning. So keep your fingers crossed if you want to see some snow Christmas Day morning, because that's going to happen really early. Talk about the wind, the gusts, how intense it's going to be, and when it's going to ease in just a moment. But first, Tom, anything going on the roads? Tom didn't mention that his son is 16 and in very good shape and is about 6'2". So I think Tom's fibbing a little. All right, we do have a lot of cloud cover and rain throughout the day today. The bulk of the moisture is coming in behind this cold front late tonight and early tomorrow morning. Not great for the morning commute right there. And then it starts to ease throughout the day. We'll see quite a bit of cloud cover, and then we're actually going to see a bit of a dry spot, which is perfect because it's coming in the evening. So when you're traveling to friends or families, you're going out to dinner, you're doing some last minute running around, this is good timing. But unfortunately, the winds are going to start to intensify in late evening, overnight, and in through Christmas morning. Sustained winds 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, gusts 80 plus. Remember November 24th, we had a crazy windstorm through Toronto. Thousands of people were waking up without power. Hopefully that is not going to be the case for Christmas morning. But stay tuned to the Weather Network. All through the holidays, we're going to have live people here in the studios. We're going to have live reporters out in the field, so we're going to keep you up to date. The weekend actually looks really good for the city of Toronto. We've got some sunshine in the forecast. Saturday overnight into Sunday, we could see some rain behind the cold front, colder temperatures. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. I just did a bit of a long ranger with Dr. Doug Gillum, and we were kind of breaking down the system. And of course, the biggest issue is going to be the winds.
Yes.
It's going to be more of a fall-like system with very strong, gusty winds, up to 100 kilometers an hour locally in some areas. But then we were talking about the pattern change for New Year's and how much colder it's going to get after Christmas.
Well, this is the problem. I mean, as we get into January, February, that's sort of the trend of the cooler air is going to be settling down. So we may see a recurring system like we had last winter.
So skiers, be happy because you might get some snow this holiday season. All right, let's take a look at the radar, and you can see the rain coming in. Christmas morning, we just may see a shot of snow. All right, I'm going to turn things over to Tom. He's got an update on your commute. Thanks so much, Kevin. Yeah, there's so much involved with this storm. I mean, there's rain, there's wind, there's potentially record-breaking temperatures. I think Pearson's old record for Christmas Eve was like 12.2 or something like that.
And we're going to be darn close.
We're going to be really close, especially down towards the Niagara region. 15 degrees could be forecast.
Santa is going to change the weight balance in his sleigh by not having to wear his big, huge fur coat.
Santa may also have to watch out for thunderstorms.
Oh, that's no problem. Thunderstorms, all they do is make Rudolph's nose a little bit brighter.
I suppose.
Yeah, and his cheeks glow.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the radar and northerly flow coming through, which is going to potentially give us a little bit of snow first thing Christmas morning. We'll talk about the winds, we'll talk about the gusts, and we'll talk about how long it's going to last in just a moment. But first, here's Tom with traffic. Okay, well, temperatures are going to be mild, and we are going to be seeing rain throughout the day today. We're looking at about 6 degrees. The potential is there for some very isolated thunderstorms, warm front and cold front triggered. By tomorrow, we're looking at even milder conditions, bulk of the moisture coming in through the early morning hours. Again, there's that risk for a few isolated thunderstorms. By the evening, we're actually going to get into a bit of a dry slot, which is great for people that are traveling. If you're traveling home for the holidays, if you're just traveling home from work, if you're going out for dinner, if you're visiting with family, relatives, it's certainly good timing. But then the winds are really going to start to intensify. We're looking at winds that are about 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, sustained, gusting 80 plus. So it is going to be very intense. Remember the storm that was happening? It happened on November 24th. It's a very similar setup. Some people lost power. Hopefully people will keep power Christmas Day in order to cook that turkey. Once the system moves out, we've got a really beautiful weekend setting up. We really do. Once all this rain and wind gets out of here, we've got some sunshine for Friday, Saturday getting up to 7, some showers overnight, and then much cooler temperatures behind the cold front. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. It is December the 23rd. We are in Stormwatch. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds, and ho, 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 Merry Christmas. It's, this is my last day before I go away for holidays till the 5th. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Wow, you're gone for a long time. And you're staying home this year. You're not even going up to the cottage.
No, not to the cottage this year because we've things changed up a bit. My son's going down to Florida with some of his buddies.
And he has a job.
Yeah, and he has a job too, which is also and my wife, of course, is working away. So anyway, we're going to spend it at home in Georgetown. I'm looking forward to it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, we do have a system on the way for Christmas Day, so if you don't have to travel, that's good news. Have you heard anything from that?
No, I haven't actually heard any more since the initial call. The OP were asking for some salt and some of the ramps in the 404, and I really haven't heard anything since then. I mean, it's still a little greasy out there. You know, you've got gravel there, you've got a little bit of dampness on there, so it could be a little treacherous.
Yeah, now for the rainfall forecast, I mean, we don't have, epic amounts of rain on the way, but the wind is certainly going to play into this. I mean, west of the city, downtown, we're looking at a little bit of mixing, but that could certainly switch. Now, it's not going to be, perfect white Christmas criteria. For that, we need about 2 centimeters, but we could see a light dusting, maybe mixing with some rain. I'm going to talk more about those winds, but first, here's Tom with traffic.
My reindeer were created about 30 odd years ago. They've stood up 30 years of snow, rain, wind, no problems at all. And I got to thank Bob Orchard, who was a friend of mine who helped me create them many, many years ago. So,
Tom, just FYI, I think your reindeer are older than I am. I'm not kidding. I think they're older than me. That's awesome. Okay, we've got rain on the way today, on and off, a lot of cloud cover. Cold front comes through, doesn't do anything to our temperatures. We're still mild. A high of 6 today, 8 tomorrow. Bulk of the moisture comes in through tomorrow morning's commute, whatever that may be, 10 cars today on the Gardner. And then by tomorrow night, we actually really start to clear out. We get a bit of a break, but then the winds start to intensify. Unfortunately, the winds are going to be sustained 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, gusting 80 plus. So a lot of people, unfortunately, could be waking up without power for Christmas morning. But once this system moves out, we've got a much better forecast on the weekend. We are going to see some sunshine. Temperatures are going to be mild. We could see a little shot of rain Saturday overnight and into Sunday, and then temperatures cool down. But I don't think anybody has anything to complain about if you're traveling. Thanks so much, Kevin. Now, we have an impending system on the way. Everybody is concerned about this storm deck. I mean, at first we were initially talking about the potential for snow, but now it has really become a wind story. I think that's what's going to make it most impactful.
Right, it's a fall-like system, and the big story really are the winds. Think back to November 24th, where we had a windstorm in the GTA. Some people lost power. We had some trees and power lines down. The potential is comparable to what we saw on November 24th. So we're looking for local wind gusts of 80 to 100 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
The key is we know the winds just above the surface will be 100K.
Yeah.
The key is, do those winds get mixed down to the surface? Obviously, if they're just above the surface, it really doesn't impact us. Now, we know it will be windy. The key is, do we tip over that threshold of getting some local damage?
Right. Okay. Now the rainfall, I mean, it's significant, but it's not 100 millimeters. We're expecting to see about 15 to 30 millimeters throughout much of the GTA. Christmas Eve is when we're going to be seeing a lot of wind, a lot of rain, but we're going to see that kind of window, right, where people can kind of get out, get to their relative's house, go out for dinner, that kind of thing. But then it really starts to intensify after that.
Yeah, most of the day is raining, but there are few rain-free periods. The best chance of that is as we go into the evening. That's also when the winds will pick up, and that's when the temperatures really soar as well. During the evening, it'll be between 10 and 12 degrees.
That's
we have
incredible.
A shot at, the record at Pearson, 12.2. So it could be the warmest Christmas Eve on record. You get into Niagara, some spots could reach 15 degrees.
Who's wearing shorts on Christmas Eve? I am. Okay, Christmas Day, this is where we've passed through the cold front. The winds have really kicked it up a notch, and we've got those northwesterly winds, so much cooler temperatures. It's not going to be classified as a white Christmas with the criteria of 2 centimeters or more, but we could see some flakes.
Yeah, we'll see some snow showers in the air, maybe even mixed with rain at times. This is not Arctic air. This is not going to be cold enough to really set off some lake effect, though we could see some accumulation around Mount Forest. But temperatures will still be above freezing most of the day on Christmas Day. Again, the big story will be the wind. If you have lawn ornaments, Christmas decorations, anchor those
Santa
down.
on your roof.
or bring them in.
Okay, so the wind story is such where we're going to see gusts up to, and then into Christmas Day, the winds are still going to be intense, but then they will start to ease. Now, as we get into Boxing Day, we've got breezy but mild air
That's right.
moving back in.
Back above seasonal for Friday and into Saturday, and then the pattern begins to change. It's the signs of the cold front. As we go into Sunday, it's about where we should be for this time of year. Highs around 0. We'll be keeping an eye on a system passing to our south. At this point, it looks like it stays to our south, but it could get up into the GTA and bring us some snow. And then as we go into next week, this is when the lake effect really gets going again. Skiers will be happy to see this. Not a lot of snow for the GTA, although again, we'll keep our eyes on a series of systems tracking to our south. But key is, if you've got outdoor plans for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, going into an extended period of much colder weather.
All right, so we're seeing a little bit of the reverse. We're seeing fall-like weather over Christmas and Christmas-like weather over New Year's. Hi there, good morning. Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday. It is the 23rd of December. I'm Emily Vukovic, and we are in Stormwatch. Not for snow, But for wind and rain are going to be the big stories for us over the next couple of days. Make sure you stay tuned to the Weather Network. We've got reporters and people in studio all through the holidays reporting live, so we will keep you up to date on the latest trends with this system. Now we've got Kevin Yard joining us in beautiful High Park. And Kevin, we all remember at this time last year, people were cleaning up from the ice storm. How are things looking today?
Well, today, overcast sky. Now, I am so excited. I met a celebrity here. Kate, pronounce your last name for me.
Van Buskirk.
Van Buskirk from the Commonwealth Games, and you ran in the 1,500 meters?
I did, yep.
And how'd you do?
Very well. I actually won the bronze medal, so it was my first medal, my first international medal for Canada. So
She's a runner. I got to race her. On the count of 3, you ready?
Okay, yeah.
1. I said, whoa! Make me look bad.
No, Kevin, you did that all to yourself. How did you challenge her to a race? Oh, Kevin. All right, well, the calm before the storm was yesterday. We're going to pick up about 15 to 30 millimeters today, tomorrow, and into Thursday. Throughout the GTA, areas a little bit further north. If you're traveling up through the Nickel Belt up to Sudbury, we're looking at 30 to 45 millimeters. Christmas Eve, it's all rain for us. We are going to be seeing temperatures get up to about 8 degrees tomorrow. Now, for Christmas Day, things are really going to start to change. We've got our winds that are going to be very strong, and I'll show you a wind map in just a few moments. But first, we'll take a look at this. We've got those northwesterly winds, and they're going to be bringing in a little bit of lake enhancement and helping to cool down our temperatures behind the cold front. So we are going to be seeing the potential for a bit of mixing and possibly a little shot of snow. Not enough to classify it officially as a white Christmas. We need 2 centimeters or more for that, but we could see a light dusting as kids are waking up in the morning. Bulk of the moisture tomorrow morning, easing throughout the day. We are going to see a bit of a break, but it's going to be kind of showery and kind of miserable. Until we get to the evening, things will really start to clear up. We'll have a couple of hours where we won't see too much in the way of active weather, which is great news because that's the time where people are going to be going out, going to visit family, relatives, going out for dinner, traveling home for the holidays, and your commute home. Now, the wind is going to be a big issue. This is going to be the major talking point of our story. We've got sustained winds 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, but gusts 80 plus. So some people could be waking up Christmas Day without any power. Just in time for the holidays, something nobody asked for. Snow, rain, wind. Our Stormwatch coverage continues